Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're talking again about wireless CarPlay solutions for your car. I'm sitting in my wife's MG ZST model that does not have wireless Apple CarPlay. It has Apple CarPlay, but it's a wired one. And if you watched my previous videos, we had quite a few issues with cables, intermittent disconnects from the Apple CarPlay. We didn't know what to do about it, and we just kind of left it because it's very hard to diagnose at the service center as well. How about we forget about those problems and instead of that use something like the sponsor, the solution from the sponsor of our today's video. The lovely Ottocast sent me this U2 Air Pro wireless adapter. This is a specific solution that is enabling wireless Apple CarPlay, not Android Auto. Let's be clear about that. And once again, just similar to the other products that I've reviewed so far, this one does not give you Apple CarPlay. It relies on wired Apple CarPlay that should be present in your car before it can make use of it. It only enables very nicely, I must add, wireless connectivity with that Apple CarPlay system that is already in your car. Well, MG ZST is a lovely vehicle that has Apple CarPlay built in. It's a little bit sluggish, the screen is a bit sluggish, but it has nothing to do with this adapter. I'm running ahead of myself. It is just the computer chip that is inside of the car. It's just how the display works. That's a separate question. But what we are testing here and what my wife is going to be using very, very gladly is we're testing an out-of-the-box connectivity of this U2 Air Pro wireless adapter, connecting it to the USB-A port of MG ZS, connecting it to USB-C port on the adapter. There are two cables included in this package, USB-C to USB-C, USB-C to USB-A. So that seems to be like a standard thing. The wireless adapter manufacturers are providing two cables these days, depending on which cable your car can use. So we are connecting it here to the outlet on MG ZS, connecting it very nicely. You then need to enable Bluetooth on your phone. You need to find Ottocast Bluetooth string there, and you need to give it a little bit of time until it connects. So be patient. Basically connect it on Bluetooth, let it get discovered, let it basically prompt you on the screen, would you like to use Apple CarPlay? It will prompt you on the screen of your phone, and as soon as you allow it to, first you pair it and then you allow it to use Apple CarPlay on this solution, it all should come to life really, really nicely. And from then on, whenever you just enter the car, and if your Bluetooth is enabled, your phone gets connected automatically to Ottocast U2 Air Pro wireless adapter, and Apple CarPlay with all its glory, with all its apps, should come up on the screen for you without any issues. That is in principle how it works. Now let's talk about what I like about this solution compared to the other ones that I've reviewed. Carpuride and Carlinkit. At the moment of recording of this video, I've reviewed two other solutions. Yeah, I'm not including the one that I decided not to talk to you about because that one did not meet my expectations on quality and value for money. What I like about Ottocast product is that, first of all, it's dedicated to Apple CarPlay. So obviously the manufacturer has invested quite a lot of time into perfecting the software and connectivity specifically with Apple CarPlay, as opposed to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto 2-in-1, which doesn't mean that the other solutions don't do it as well, but usually, typically, to kind of put our minds at ease as potential customers, when a manufacturer specializes in a specific purpose, by definition we can expect that it does it well better than others. Yeah, only time will tell. Obviously, with these solutions, that's a speculative statement, but I personally think that it's good that they're like, nah, we're only doing Apple CarPlay. This is an Apple CarPlay wireless adapter. That's a cool thing. That's a good thing. Another thing that I really, really like, and I will show it to you once again here on the screen. I'll disconnect it for a second from the car, and I will show to you that in addition to just rather sleek, rather good design, I'd say rather good design, and I haven't peeled the film off, by the way. I will leave it to my wife because she's very particular. She wants to do the things herself. Yeah, I don't judge. But other than just a rather sleek, rather solid design of this little box, well, first of all, they also have included a little kind of double-sided tape sticker. So if you prefer to stick it somewhere in your car as opposed to leave it here laying around, you can do that too. I probably will leave it up to her once again. But the best part of this adapter compared to the other ones that I've seen so far is that it has a special button. I will show it to you here. Can you see the special button? This one. This special button does two things. When you press it quickly once, it disconnects from the current phone very quickly, potentially allowing you to reconnect to a different phone. Yeah, I have not tested fully that feature myself, but it definitely is there. If you, however, press and hold this button for 10 seconds, it resets the adapter to factory settings, forgetting every pairing, every other kind of thing. Why it's a good thing? Because everything else that I've seen so far requires a more complex factory reset process. I don't even particularly know what factory reset process exists on some other systems, but here it's front and center. If something is glitching, if you want to change the phone, reconnect the phone, something else is happening, and you're like, look, I just want a hard reset, what we would refer to in PC world as a hard reset. Well, this thing allows you to do it. I think it's a very good thing. It gives me, as a potential user relatively unfamiliar with the software and the solution, it gives me a sense of physical comfort. There is a button to turn this thing off, or there is a button to return it to a factory settings. I don't need to go to any particular URLs or anything else to change, to fiddle with the settings there. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Speaking of URLs and speaking of the settings, this thing works similarly to how other wireless CarPlay adapters work, such as Carlinkit system, the one that I reviewed in the past, and I have been quite fond of that one too. It doesn't have a special button though. This one does. You just use there is an instruction manual included here in the box, and there is a IP address, which is basically just a little URL that once the adapter is connected to your car, once everything is running, you enter, and once the phone is paired, obviously, you enter that IP address. I'll put it up here for you if you would like me to, but please refer to your instruction manual, because that IP address might change. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. Just check your instruction manual, but this is the one I had in my box. You enter that IP address in the mobile browser of your phone, and it should bring up a screen with some basically native settings, native settings page for this little adapter. And through that page on your phone, you can choose to update it, you can choose other things. I can tell you that explicitly this instruction manual also calls out for one extra thing. It says, please don't fiddle with it and don't update firmware if it works well. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I agree with that attitude. So that's where Ottocast is front and center. Hey, my friends, this is how you do it. This is how you update firmware if something is wrong. But if everything is right, don't worry about it. And yet again, I'll reiterate what I said at the beginning. That's why I was a bit impatient, because I'm an Android user. I have different connectivity experience in my car. This is my wife's car. This is Apple. And when the pairing has finished, I was like, well, where are my maps? And I had to wait another maybe 30 seconds for the Ottocast box to basically prompt me on the screen to complete its own setup, whatever it was doing, the smarts it was doing the first time, and to basically then prompt me and say, okay, now would you like to use this for Apple Carplay? And I was like, yes, I would like to use it for Apple Carplay. And needless to say, Apple Carplay icons should be coming up somewhere on your infotainment screen, depending on the model of the car that you're using. Like I assume that goes without saying, that you have to press Apple CarPlay before all of that engagement starts happening. Yeah. All in all, what do I think? All in all, first of all, I'm grateful to my new partners, basically these companies that are sending me these devices, because they know that I am trying to improve my life within my Chinese vehicles, and not just Chinese vehicles, but vehicles that do not have Apple CarPlay or Apple or Android Auto wirelessly connecting. Yeah. So I very much enjoy the system that I'm using right now. I spoke to you already in different videos about what I'm using for my car. I am thinking that my wife is going to very much enjoy this, because she's an Apple user. She's very much an Apple fangirl, and you know, I could not convert her to using Android phones, so she's going to be using this. And as always, we will stay tuned on this channel with you, my friends, and as private users of these cars, private owners of all of this kind of stuff, I'm going to honestly continue telling you what's happening with the cars, as well as these new devices that we use to make the life in these cars a little bit better. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please check the discounted code link in the description of this video that the sponsor Ottocast very kindly provided for U2 Air Pro wireless adapter for us, today. I'm very grateful for them. You will get this little Ottocast thing a little bit cheaper, and I will get a little bit of cash back, which is lovely, and it pays for my coffee. Thank you very much for your support. That's it for today, my friends. Hope you enjoyed this. Give the video a like, subscribe for more. I'll talk to you next time about something else, cars or car electronics related, very, very soon. Goodbye for now.